Hello, hi Uzma, how are you?
Hi, Prosperity. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. So,
Mhm.
welcome to co-creating co-creating transformation with InnerMost Shift Coaching, and we have our session real stories of impactful shifts with coaches. So, and today we have with us Uzma Sheikh Jamal is a wonderful coach. She did her InnerMost Shift Coaching, like she was in the first batch that went online after the entire pandemic, and trust me, her entire batch, they all practiced so much this entire every session they kept on practicing, and they really inculcated this coaching within themselves. And Usma is also the CEO of Elevate Your Brand, because for every coach, every trainer, branding is very important. It really gives a crux of who we are and what we are doing, right? A fitness coach and a personal transformation coach, emotional fitness coach. So, Usma, do tell us more about your work. What do you do?
So, you have already told a lot, but let me add on to it. So, when I completed my certification with AlphaStar and got, the insights of InnerMost Shift Coaching. So, the first, I should say, the entrepreneurial project that I started was Educate to Elevate. I
Yeah,
founded that, and that completely focuses on the coaching part, the training part, and then I started in the month of May once we completed our the first session and the second module as well. And then by the grace of God, Nandaji also came and joined in, and we took educate to elevate to another level, where our focus is to transform the young leaders and make them a magnet of success. So now success
right,
depends on very many factors. So
right.
it is your outer personality, your inner personality, your emotional fitness. So all these things that come into play. And apart from this, since I have more than a decade of experience in the field of training people from all walks of life in communication and their personality development, so that also is an important part of educate to elevate. And later, when I understood the importance, that how much it is important to actually have your business and brand on the digital platform. And when I saw a lot of my fellow coaches struggling also, that okay, how to make a reel on Instagram, what to do, how to make a YouTube videos, because I think a lot of people who don't know you check your authenticity from YouTube. So then another thing that came out was elevate your brand. Elevate is common. Nandaji and I, we love this word. We want to
And the
elevate
work,
a lot of
yes.
people. So that's how it happened. And then elevate your brand came. We started this in the month of January, and it's all going good. So that is all the work that I do.
That's amazing. It's really interesting that one work really led to the other, and it kind of combines together, because it's what you needed to do for yourself, which you're helping others to do as well, right? So tell me more about, how has your life and business improved after you did Inner Shift Coaching? What impact has it had in your life?
To be honest, prosperity, it has had a very big impact on my life, because for the last 10 years, I had been, an employee of an organization. And I always thought that, okay, till my last breath, I'll be working in that organization. And, I had a lot of emotional attachment. And that work did not only mean to me, like, something which is related to money. It was more about helping people, because I think in the last 10 years, I've touched lives of more than 10,000 people. I have had
Wow,
students
that's a
from,
lot.
yeah, like I started at the age of, I think, 21 or 22 years, and it was my first job. And, getting to know people from all walks of life. Like, I've had a student who was the age of my grandmother, I had a school kid, my
Wow.
student. I have, one of the biggest radio jockeys of Lucknow, the actor who is there in movies like Thappad and this Tanu Weds Manu, they have all, or a PCS officer. So there, a lot of learning happened. So I was in love with my work. But then that when I joined AlphaStar and when I got to know about InnerMost Shift Coaching, I kind of understood that what I'm doing is good. But it's more about, with due respect to training field, but I was giving tips to people. Now let's say, for example, if somebody comes to me who lacks confidence, and as a trainer, I tell him, okay, you talk to people, you practice certain things, you do mirror practice, that's how you'll not feel nervous. But what if the person has had some deep rooting limiting belief? Something must have happened in his or her past, which is actually resulting in this outcome or the behavior pattern that the person has. Now, I am not able to reach that point. But when I, got my certification, I learned about this InnerMost Shift Coaching. I now can understand and handle people at the deep root level. And after doing the first module, I don't know what happened. I always say, I mean, when I made my first video on YouTube about my life journey, also how I became a life coach, I said, for me, it's always universe tells me something and I do something unexpected. And 10 years of that work, never ever thought I'm going to start my own business. First module done, and it was like, it's time to make my own brand. And trust me, it happened after doing the InnerMost Shift Coaching with AlphaStar. So now I'm an entrepreneur.
It's so interesting when I hear you talk about shifting from a job to an entrepreneur journey, because it was something similar for me also. I was so fixed in the job, and I did only NLP at that point of time when I did it. And in the end, we did this visioning exercise in which it came that I'll be a consultant. And I was like, okay, this is not part of my overall vision, but okay, let's see, kind of a thing. And here I am today completely. It seems to me like a completely different thing being on the other side of the, the field, so to say. So, yeah. So what do you think? What difference do you think you are experiencing as a being in a job and being an entrepreneur? What is different for you?
Actually, it's really different in terms of all the aspects, starting from the stability. Because of course, I mean, at the on the first day of the month, you'll get your salary. In an
Yeah.
entrepreneur's life, some months will be very good, some months you will not have anything also. And so this is one thing which is the tough part. I would say I think I have equal sleepless nights. I used to be equally tensed when I was in job. But on the other hand, but after studying about being a life coach, and especially in a more shift coaching, and doing my work in emotional fitness, I'm more grounded now. So like, if I compare, my I've been a leader there as well. When I was in the job, I was handling a team. I would get frustrated at certain points of time where I would feel my team is not performing well. And there used to be always this I would say frustration only, that why can't they do the way I am doing it? If I am doing it in a certain way, and why can't they understand if I've made them understand 10 times, 15 times? But then now I think I have become more patient, because now I've understood, how thinking pattern of a person works. Because even if I have certain difference of opinion with my the business partners or with my team, or I'm not able to make my graphic designer visualize certain thing, so maybe then I do not get frustrated immediately, because I know, okay, he might not be of the same thinking pattern, he might not be perceiving what I am perceiving. So that ways I feel there is a lot of difference in terms of handling the team, handling people, and a
Mm-hmm.
lot in terms of handling my own emotions. I feel
Right.
I'm able to handle crisis in a much better way now, as compared to when I used to be in some 11th hour situation. Of course I would sail through it, but then it takes a toll on your mental health a lot. But now I am in a position, of course I'll get perturbed, but the resilience has become stronger. So this is one thing. And yeah, as an entrepreneur, I feel I have a very nice now work life balance, which I never had. So I'll take a workshop and next day I'll sleep whole day. So that's very wonderful. The perk of being an entrepreneur.
I like the fact, you say as an entrepreneur, you have a work life balance and you do a workshop and you sleep the next day. Not every entrepreneur can say that. And I remember you posted one day about you and Nanda both that you were both going to work on a Sunday or a leave day. And then you reminded yourself kind of that, no, we
Yes,
have to do what we preach. So we have to take our breaks very
yes,
seriously as well. Right.
I agree. Actually,
So,
I do feel prosperity that, there's a lot of toxic motivation also, which is spread across where I know hustle culture is good. I know working hard, you have to do it. And I work hard a lot. I won't be modest in that. But that does not mean that you have to work 24 into 7, then only you can be successful. It's time now we all should realize that there should be a balance, and there is nothing to prove to this world that you're having sleepless nights, then only you can get a tag of being hardworking or successful. So yeah.
yes. Actually, it's really the opposite that we kind of aim for in coaching, that how to be successful without having sleepless nights and those anxiety attacks. So that's the entire
Agreed.
purpose of it, right? Yeah, so
Agreed.
that's interesting. You also mentioned something that I'm sorry, I'm forgetting what you really mentioned over there, but okay, I'll come back to it once I remember. Okay, so tell me, like, how has this coaching helped you personally? Have you taken personal coaching after the entire training as well? Did you keep on with it? How this did this help you in your personal life?
Um, it has helped me a lot in my personal life, as I mentioned also. Like, yes, I would say I keep getting coached by Anandaji whenever I am in some kind of, confusion. She's there, or vice versa. In fact, few days back, I had, a peer coaching session where one of the coaches wanted to practice for some session. So I agreed I'll do it with him. And I gave him a problem that I had been facing, and Nandaji we have been facing and procrastinating for writing our book. I don't know for how long now. I'm even ashamed to mention. But then there he did something, and there was a point where it, it clicked. I had this, resistance which was coming, and I was not able to understand that why am I having this resistance, because I love writing. That is something I whenever I have, some emotional phases there or anything, I'm happy, I'm sad, I go and I write something. And it was really confusing for me that why am I not able to write when I enjoy this process so much. And that time I had such an aha moment that I have always done it when I was in the peak of emotions. And right now I'm taking it as a chore or something which is monotonous and a duty. And I was like, oh God, why did
Yeah.
I not understand this? So, every time coaching has helped me a lot. And I have a lot of times self-coached myself also, to be honest. The kind of questions that are there in IC Probe Gap, that of course you do it, those questions, if you start asking yourself at different points of time where you are stuck and you are not able to make a decision, or there is some kind of internal resistance, maybe sometimes we are not able to answer to ourselves also, so then you start probing yourself and you're okay, then why this, why, you keep asking the why and what is it. So then you get to the grassroots level and you understand that okay, this is what is wrong. So I feel, and a lot of people have actually complimented me also, seeing my way of working. A lot of my, business partners and team workers, that, the way you have started handling people, the way you have started handling crisis. These 2 years, there has been a stark difference in your personality. And I would not do it in front of my students. While going home, I would cry. Oh my God, I'm so frustrated. I did this goof up earlier. But now it's like I feel it's okay, calm down, connect to your guru state, you can handle it, you can handle it.
I know goof ups are part of life, and they do happen. Like it's inevitable that they will not happen. We cannot ever be perfectionists, but being able to handle it well is so important. So
Agreed.
that's very very critical. And what about everything else that you are managing, all your relationships, every other aspect of your life, uh, what would you say, how important is it for a coach to have another coach, to be able to sail through life instead of just moving ahead and going ahead with life?
I feel, the need of coach is very, very important, because not only in terms of, when you're stuck in a problem, but because a coach is an amazing accountability partner for you for various things. And this is something which I actually like the most. If I don't know if you remember Prosperity or not, the very first time that we interacted over the call, when I actually wanted to know about life coaching and all, so I was oblivious about the fact. I thought, okay, I am already a pseudo life coach because I have spent years
Yeah.
counseling people. And then you broke my myth telling me, no, that's not how coaching works. And I feel that everybody needs a coach in their life, because coaching is not only about giving some suggestions or giving some motivational talks and then you are done. Coaching is about, you can actually quantify what the promises that you have made. It's not like you are actually fleecing somebody for money, but by just only doing goody goody talks. You have all the parameters, you have all the goals set. I mean, I'm being here very dead honest. I mean,
Yeah.
this is what I loved about this profession, that you have goals, you have everything set. You know how you tell the client to make parameters to measure yourself. So it's everything very crystal clear that, look, this is the work I'm doing, this is you are paying me, and these are the results in front of your eyes. So personally, I felt that really influenced me and impressed me, that yes, this is something that I would like to do, because this definitely, it guarantees results. Of course, I mean, the client has to be committed
Working as
also.
well,
And
yes.
yes, and this also, this part I like, ethically. I mean, my in this case, my core values, like work ethics is very important. So then, initially getting the commitment of the client, telling the client also, look, if you are not committed, you are not meant to be coached. So being very clear in that case, that you truly earn the respect of the other person also, that it's not only in ears and the talks which are happening. So I feel, A, because of this reason, because the results are in front of your eyes. B, it's about, in every small thing, it's not only about when you have a problem, whenever you want to move forward in life. I mean, one of my clients wanted to start a business, and because of so many failures in the past time in the business, the person did not have the courage to start. But the since I coached, and now here it's not only a problem, it's starting something from the scratch. So there, from forming the vision to actually taking and starting a business in the time when it was the second wave, the pandemic time, to taking it to the point that now that person's brand is talked and ranked in top 5 of Lucknow, is something that has happened because there had been constant accountability. So I feel, because of that, not only for problem but to progress in life in various aspects, you need a life coach in your life.
Absolutely, absolutely. And how do you take these further? Like, when you're saying that brand, because you were coaching and you were holding the owners accountable as well, right? It is now the top 5 brands in Lucknow, right? How do you take now this journey forward? How do you educate others about how coaching is helpful from one is from the base when you had nothing to go on, and now from a different base where you have certain examples. So, what changes between the two?
A lot of things, I feel, if I take this person's example only, and to be honest, if I relate it to the niche that I have, which is of emotional fitness. Now, you know, if we see this word emotion also, Prosperity, like when we call somebody, oh, she's very emotional, it always has a negative meaning, that the person is
Yeah.
emotional, the person is a crybaby. But happiness is also an emotion. No? If I am happy, I should be called emotional. I can't be called
I
emotional.
absolutely love that. In corporate world, people always say, no, emotions are not part of my life, but they all will always keep on saying, oh, I love this. It should be this. And I keep telling them, passion is also an emotion. So
Yes.
that you can't be emotionless. It's just not possible.
So when in fact I was searching for my niche, I had a lot of, I was listening to a lot of people for leadership, relationship, this, that, and I felt, in my life also, whenever I worked, I mean in my professional life, I have always dealt with my team and myself with emotions, with empathy. I'll give you an example how it was fruitful for me further, but because then otherwise the story will become very long. So, I feel, and this, emotion part is so important that everywhere it comes into play. You are stuck in a professional problem, you want to pursue something, you want to excel, you have to manage conflicts, your own personal life, hiccups, anything which is coming, emotion. If you have a proper relationship with your emotion, everything becomes fine. So even in this person's case, I would say there was a lot of past trauma of failure which was very strongly ingrained. So whenever the person was trying to start something, the fear of failure would cloud him like anything. Now here as an emotional fitness coach, and yes, then there was these all those limiting beliefs also have to be practical, I can't be emotional, this, that, blah blah. Got so many, I've been cheated by my partners. So in this entire thing, it was not only about performance and money. The person's entire thought process and mindset changed in terms of getting rid of that fear of failure, because now the person is trying for another business where he failed previously, but is trying again with a lot of positivity. And secondly, all these things where you can't trust people. Even in this business, his partner backstabbed him, but then he did not leave or step back. He took charge of the entire business and took it even further, and now touch wood, it's
Wow.
working even well. So you can say
Wow.
there is, it's not only about the performance or the money, it's about the deepest shift, as we say in the innermost, your core, your mindset, your behavior, belief systems, everything changes. So this is like
Absolutely.
a real example where you can see how things have changed, not only in business but the way he sees life.
That's really good. Like, if the person can take charge of themselves even when they've been backstabbed, that really speaks a lot about the kind of shift the person must be experiencing within themselves, right? So Nandaji had one small hint to give to you. She just said reels, so I don't know what that means because
No,
she said reels in comments.
I think she's talking about the Instagram reels that I make.
Yeah. Okay. That's gone up now, I assume. Okay. So, tell me, like, also, when we are talking about your journey as an emo shift coach, what what part of the entire training had the biggest impact on you, or what was the biggest takeaway from the training for you?
Choosing one is actually difficult.
Okay.
Okay, so I actually there are two three very important points that helped me personally also, and whenever I am coaching the clients, they work wonder. So first of all, the foundation session, or the guru state itself is so powerful. And in certain clients of mine, I mean, one was so much, was having anxiety attacks, was going through, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm using the word, going through shit in her life. But then she did just that session, and after that there was a gap of 15 days, and she called me in between and thanked me like anything. She said I was again having those panic attacks, and I was my mom, she says was my mom. So I kept my hand on my chest, and I was like connecting to it, and it made me so much calm, because she said it was unbelievable for me. So I think that, and for me also, whenever, I'll tell you today only, honestly, I had a small hiccup in my business, and I was sad throughout the day, to be honest. But then I took time, and I actually remembered my anchor, which I'll say it was the Hulk hand for me. Too much influenced by Avengers and Marvel. So yeah, Sapsar laughed so much when I shared. So, so I remembered that hand, and I was like, it's okay. I mean, I cannot ruin my whole day because of that. And so yeah, I mean that itself, that anchor you, you, as you say, you wire your emotions to it, so it always brings back. So that, I think, is a great takeaway for me. Secondly, I feel the recent sessions that we had of NLP, where we had the live training, I mean, of course, we did a lot in detail about NLP in the third module itself, but you know, that thing was such an eye opener when Satsar explained that how the way we are teaching, and we are actually expecting the kids to learn or anybody to learn, is so wrong. And what should be the right way? I actually questioned myself, oh God, what am I doing in my life? And it was such an amazing point at that time, where that point that sir step by step explained how is the learning process, and we just expect, okay, if this is A, so this is A, that's how the kids should learn. And it's actually not like that. So I feel that that was, I'm going to apply it everywhere, trust me, in my own learning and all. So I feel these two things are very important,
Okay.
that I feel
So,
my biggest takeaways.
having been a trainer earlier, okay, and now also there are so many people who are actually trainers or preachers, or and they keep calling themselves coaches, right? With this learning in the background that says that learning is so different for different people, and all that you learned in this 2 days training and otherwise, what would you say is so different in coaching and in training?
Um, you know, Actually, I think in terms of training, there are certain generalizations which are made, like when we talk about even body language. So, till now, when
Hmm.
I had been talking about body language, I would take those generalized things, and I had been training my, students who have been appearing for interviews or group discussions or army SSBs and stuff. They are there. But now, when we practically saw Coach Hitesh, if you remember, that he was frowning when Satsar was talking to him, right? Now, I would tell my student, as a trainer, that do not frown when you are in an interview, or if somebody else is frowning, it's something that is going negative. Now, on the other hand, if we see the live example, Hitesh was sharing all his happy memories while
While he
frowning.
was frowning.
So that means frowning has got nothing to do with what's going inside him. It's not negative for him. It's a habit that he has, acquired over time. So that itself shows that everyone is unique, as we say, and everyone needs. They are in unique circumstances, and a unique way to solve their problem is required. That perspective that life coaches bring, and of course not the pseudo life coaches, but the life coaches who have the proper training, I think that really changes the way you help a person to come out of the issue or the problem which is there, as compared to somebody trainer who might just give some general tips which you might not know would be actually apt for that person or not. So this, I feel, is a really big difference that comes into play.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for this because, uh, like Sir always says, it's very, very important to be alive to the person. You have to live, be live to the person in front of you rather than to the books and the learnings that you have had in some class or somewhere, right? So that's something a good coach, I would say, would always do to be alive to the person. And how is the values of InnerMost Shift Coaching aligned with your own personal values? What values would you say is aligning?
um, I think, and I have so many actually incidents to share. I feel prosperity में भी इसके पास कहानियां कितनी है.
कोई नहीं शेयर करने के लिए ये हम यहाँ पे तो
you know I feel this thing that the connecting to your inner knowingness, your
yeah,
gut feeling, as you say, or the sixth sense, there are very many names to give to it. I have always believed in that right from the start, from after my 12th, when I wanted to become a doctor and take a break and prepare, because I got selected till BDS but could not go till MBBS. But the moment I stepped into the campus of Delhi
I didn't know that you
University,
wanted to become a doctor. So
I
that's okay.
that's the story of every Indian household actually.
Yeah, become a doctor or an engineer or
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
okay.
and I was even better. No, I had bio and maths both. So I took
Ah.
exams of engineering also, medical also.
Wow.
So, but the moment I stepped into the campus of Delhi University North Campus, my inner knowingness said I could not know that time. Now I know after
This is
so
called
many
inner
years.
knowingness, but you knew there was some voice
Yeah,
that was there.
yeah. And that voice told me पढ़ाई तो यही करनी है यार, you know. That was one thing. Or maybe after my BSc, when I thought I want to do MBA, and all my friends, my group, they decided, and then by the time all master, and suddenly some voice told me, no, you have to do MSc, and then all forms were gone, JNU, DU, I only Jamia Millia was left, and I filled the forms, I qualified all. There also, I qualified all 4, 5, biochemistry, biosciences. Bioinformatics was one. Its classes were till late night, till 8:30, and my house was 40 kilometers away. Pitampura and
Ah,
Jamia Okla.
wow. Hmm.
So at times I reached at 12 night also my home because of the storm and all was there. But my family never wanted me to join bioinformatics. Of course, they want जो सुबह खत्म हो जाए course बच्ची घर आ जाए time पे kinds.
Ah.
But my gut feeling told no, I want to do bioinformatics only. So I'll tell you, same goes with the day I took the interview of this job where I had been for last 10 years. The salary was very less. I cannot even tell how much it was. I quoted being from Delhi University, this. I said, no, only this much. But the moment I was moving out of that office, my gut feeling that no, this is a place, Uzma, you need to work. So this is something that I have always taken my decisions with my gut feeling. And this is one of the core things. You start in a more shift coaching with this. And this is the first thing. And that is how the entire concept, the foundation that every person has the unique answer. You're not supposed to tell something. The person will have a strong connection with its gut feeling or inner knowingness and will seek answers from within himself or herself. So my entire core value is following the gut. Right now also I had to hire a designer. I had somebody who was very talented, but I hired somebody who is new, but I know I can help and train because I felt I can trust that girl more,
Hmm.
all by gut feeling. So I think that completely, this thing completely
that
aligns with
that
what
one
I
thing
have.
completely aligns. What else?
Yeah.
One is, of
Apart.
course, I'll have a follow up question on this. You already were trusting your gut feeling, as you say, right? So that inner voice, that inner sense that you would get, right? And Nanda rightly says you're still a doctor. You're helping people with emotional issues to become emotionally fit. So yes, in a sense, there is that realm of helping people. So my question is. When you say you were already trusting your instincts or your gut or listening to your inner knowingness, what has changed in that, or what is different in that now after you did your inner shift coaching and had so many coaching sessions on this?
The thing that has changed is trusting my gut feeling. Now, okay, that I would take that decision, but I would keep thinking that whether have I taken the correct decision or not, is it right or not? There would always be that anxiety that would remain. I mean,
Hmm.
5 years down the line, I realize everything is good is a different thing because, but being so much connected to my inner knowingness now and practicing the guru said again and again with time has actually made me trust my gut feeling very much. Now I don't second thought it, to be honest. Like, as I said, this person before this also, the person who was hired in the team was actually more than the budget that we had for the salary, and all other persons were saying that Uzma, I mean, hiring this person would actually not be profitable for the company. And I said one thing, my gut is saying that let's hire this person. I don't have any logic to give. So they said okay, fine. Do whatever you want to do. And I'm so happy with that decision, to be honest. So happy with that
Wonderful.
decision. So there is a difference that has come, that now I know that whatever I am doing, it may be beyond logic, but it is going to guide me in the correct decision, I mean towards the correct direction. I would not have that anxiety again and again whether it was the right decision or not. So there, it has emboldened my trust in my inner
In your
knowingness.
own inner knowingness.
Yeah.
That's so wonderful because we so easily, we as people, we get so influenced by everything that is happening outside. There is so much influence happening right now when we talk to people, social media, advertisements, just walking down the streets, and listening to your own self and trusting it is so important. That I think really lays down. So what else has been the value that you think your value aligns with the InnerMost Shift Coaching values?
um, I think another thing, I remember this line which Satsar told when we were doing the third module and we were talking about the submodalities and how you can, fade away those memories or something negative which is there in the past, where he used the line, it's actually not time which is the healer. It's you only, where, you do not know, but consciously you are taking those memories back, those pictures
Yeah,
back. So I think I have always believed in this thing as well, that of course with time, but with time how will it happen if you keep remembering again and again, getting into that mood? Because I have found so many people who are my friends or my clients who are addicted to that negativity. So you have to take that, stand. One day you have to rip that band-aid, or at least make a decision that you're going to change your focus, do something consciously to forget those memories. Otherwise, I mean, 20 years down the line, you will remain the same, thinking about those same things. So I feel this point also, I mean, it's been so many months, I think 1.5 years now, I still remember this line categorically of Satsar, is only because it resonated with me so much that, I mean, you have to. And now it gave me the steps, the tool that sir and ma'am and you taught us in the third module, actually gave me an entire blueprint how to do it. So it made me feel even so empowered that, okay, if there is somebody who is my client who is going through something like that, or in fact even if it is me who's going through some emotional turmoil in my life, I know that I mean, I believe in this value fact that I need to change something, but what to change? There are people who do not know, but now I know how I can do it. So I think that
yeah,
point also resonated a lot with my thought process.
yeah. I like the word when you say, now I know how to do it, because
Yes,
I truly believe that people do not want to stay with their problems, and they know everything, that I should let it go and that there's no point of living with it, but they just don't know how of it. And
yes,
NLP teaches us that how part of it, because every
absolutely.
scripture, every talk, everything can tell us that let go, but they don't tell us how to let go. It's like you have told somebody, go ride a bike, but you don't tell them how to ride a bike, how where to put the car keys and everything else.
Yeah,
So the person is lost, just standing over there, wanting to have that experience, but not being able to do that. So that really
absolutely.
becomes very important. Right? So what else? Like, what do you, coming back to the beginning, when you were actually searching for joining a coach training, right? Uh, what made you choose InnerMost Shift Coaching, other vis-a-vis all the other uh, coach trainings that are available in the market?
People will say again, she's saying telling the same answer. A story revolves around gut feeling. No, actually, I did a lot of research because, to be honest, of course, I mean, to actually genuinely do the course, not something, online, anything, it is an expensive course. And of course, it
Yes,
is
it is.
expensive because of a reason. Because
Hmm.
you are getting so much in terms of your own learning and the way you're going to impart it and even monetize it also, right? So
Hmm.
I and of course I knew I had my only saving which was there, and due to this pandemic everybody was getting slash salaries as well when they were getting, so for me taking this decision was an important crucial decision, that if I'm putting such an such a hefty amount in certain thing, I have to have it from the correct place. So I did my research online and everything, and I still don't know how I stumbled upon. And I feel when I talk to you, Prosperity, and the way you made me explain those things, and you had a proper presentation to give me, we had that beingness diagram which is there, and the way you explained step by step, you clarified some of the myths that I had. And of course, this part where you talked about, I mean, I feel InnerMost Shift Coaching itself, this point that you are bringing the change from deep within, is a very strong thing, because now you are actually, what I feel is the best part of IMSC is that you are actually making the person self sufficient and not dependent on somebody. Because once the person has learned, connecting to the inner knowingness, I know for some certain things he would require the hand holding, but after that, somebody comes to you for resilience, let's say. You have helped the person out. Now the person knows if another similar situation comes, how to handle it. It's not
Yes.
like you're making the person parasite. You are actually
Yes.
making the person, empowered. And I feel that thing struck me, and that made me feel, oh yes, I mean, this is something which is very beautiful, and something which is very real and authentic, and I should go for it. So, and yes, you explained so beautifully that I was so
Thank
impressed.
you so much. Thank you so much. Your story reminds me of the way you just explain it reminds me of another coach of ours, Satnam. He's such a wonderful human being. He did his first part of it, like I at that point of time when he did it, it was that entire training was in two parts. So he completed the first part of it, and he was doing coaching in his own house and with neighbors, and he was creating whatever changes was there. And then he came back for the second part, and this was in Goa, and his wife came with him. So just because it was Goa, so his wife also came with him, and she said like, and Sat sir was actually saying that now it's going to be faster. Whatever you have done in the first part of it, now with the new learnings, it's going to be much faster. And his wife was like, already people go back in the first session only and they say that, my life has changed. Now I don't want to do anything else. So where will he earn from? So on the lighter side of it, it was really hilarious. So yes, it's all about making people self-sufficient. It's really not about holding on to them, that you keep coming back to me, because every time we're creating a change in one person, there are multiples life around that person that is changing. And with that trust that when one person changes and he truly experiences that change, he will automatically spread that awareness in other people as well. That will automatically happen. So that's one thing that is there. So at the cost of not wanting to repeat the questions over and over again, so tell me, like, what else would you like to share by yourself? Like,
um, I would like to share, I think, a little bit, if you give me the liberty, I would like to talk about emotional fitness a little bit
yeah,
more,
sure.
Prosperity.
Yeah.
Because, I really feel, as you also said, especially in the corporate sector, people are living in this bubble, and with so much of, myths which are there around emotions, that, oh, I have to be sans emotions or be very practical to be successful in my professional life. But it is very important to understand that without emotions you cannot stand anywhere, and you have to have a very positive and healthy relationship with your emotions, especially with your negative ones also. Like,
Yes.
I mean, you are working and you get jealous with the promotion of your colleague, and that affects your performance. So that's an emotion, no? Now if you do not know how to handle that, how would your performance is taking a toll, or there is some kind of pent up emotion that would be there, that would leak in certain important situations, and you may goof up. In fact, people should be able to have that acceptance that it's okay to be an emotional person, it's okay to have
Absolutely.
negative emotions also, and try to love your negative emotions also, to be honest. This is a very different statement, but yes, love your negative emotions, because even if we
It's
talk about,
actually, I would say, it's
yeah,
very, very important because there is this whole thing about being excessively positive, which is in the air, and it's just not about positivity. Does not mean that I am okay all the time. It's more just, I think,
no,
about knowing that I can handle this. Right now, I am not so good, but I will be good. So yeah,
absolutely.
it's absolutely very, very important.
And negative emotions are actually your signals, which are actually telling you that something needs to change. And in fact, if you see jealous, if I'm jealous of you, Prosperity, because of you have achieved something, so that is telling my desire, because I want that thing. If I don't feel jealous of you, I might not work harder to achieve the same thing. You buy a BMW, I get jealous of you or envious of you. I'll work hard to get a BMW. If I don't feel jealous of you, I'll be happy with my jazz.
That's true. That's true. It's the way you take it. If you just take it in that spirit that I have to work for it, it's really good.
So
Yeah.
that is something that I want to propagate. That when you read emotional fitness somewhere, do not take it as "अरे ये तो किसी का breakup का स्यापा होगा." That then only you have to go to an emotional fitness coach. It's actually the way you have to take care of your physical fitness, and even if you're happy or even if you're fit, you keep going to the gym to maintain that. In the same way, emotional fitness is required everywhere with life. I mean, I have experienced this with all the ups and downs. I've learned it the hard way how important it is to have the fitness of emotion, and that is the reason why I chose this niche, because I feel emotions play a major role in your life, and they can, I would not say break, but if you don't know how to handle your emotions, it can make or break your personal and professional life both. So this awareness
Absolutely.
through this platform I felt was very important to
So,
propagate.
where should a person contact you if they want to be more emotionally fit? How should a person
I
contact you?
Yes, they can contact me on Nandaji and I. We have our website www.educatetoelevatelife.com. So there you can contact us. We have, I mean, I have my with the same name. The Instagram handle is also there. I have my email and my YouTube channel. So anywhere the person can contact. I'm quite active and keep posting my content on Instagram a lot, and Nandaji and I, we are quite active when it comes to our Thoughtful Thursdays. There also, we are trying to propagate this idea that it's okay to pursue your passion and not be succumb to the pressure of only going for the conventional professions like being a doctor. See, had I succumbed to the pressure, I would have never met you. We would have never been doing this
So,
co-creating transformation with
it's
IMSC coaching.
www.educate2elevate, right? .com.
Life elevatelife.com. That time that domain was not
Elevatelife.com.
free, so I had to take educate to
So
elevate
educate to
life.
elevatelife.com. Yeah,
Yeah,
life includes everything.
yes.
Right. Okay. So educate to elevatelife.com. There you go. Anyone who wants to contact Uzma or Nanda, please visit this website. They are doing amazing job, and do visit her Instagram handle as well because she posts a lot of fun and in the moment Instagram you know reels and
Yeah.
videos, which is very, very very insightful at the same time as well. It's really good. Thank you so much for
Can I
this.
add
Yes.
one point here, Prosperity? Because this was also a conflict that came. Some of the people made me feel that now that you are a life coach, you should project some serious content, and you should all be like that. You are a life coach, and if you see my other account, which is a food influencing, you will see another side of my personality where I'm super fun. I do these satirical videos and all those things. So i I wanted to make my own path here, and I wanted to break those stereotypes. So that's why when it comes to my this handle also of a life coach, I try to bring in fun a lot in it, because I feel, as we talked about rapport building as an important part. So I feel a lot of people are able to relate to me, connect with me, because I'm so easy and fun, and they feel relaxed in opening up to me. So I think I enjoy. I mean, right now, I think you must
I
have
think it's
laughed so much.
absolutely very, very important to do it. Like Sir always says that, coaching is not something that you have to do like completely. mm, it's not something like that. You have to be fun, you have to be in the moment, and you just have to do it like that. So for me personally, it does not come so naturally, but I love seeing you the way you do it. I'm like, wow, where does she get the guts and just this entire thing to do it. I think it's very, very important to be, and at the base of it, it's very important to be authentic. So if that is what comes to you naturally, I think that's really what needs to be done,
Yeah,
right?
I think
So
the facade will never remain. I mean, you permanently. It will
hmm,
wash off.
it
So
it
it's
cannot
just, yeah,
be there. And plus it's
be
your
you.
niche. It's just
Yes.
your own niche then, right? It just
Mm,
adds more value that way.
true. True.
So before we end for the session today, I have just one last question to ask you. What would you tell someone, a new person who's just looking to join some kind of coach training? What advice would you give that person?
First of all, actually, it happened recently. Only a friend of mine contacted me and wanted to ask that how should I become a life coach. So the first advice that I gave to the person is that get a certification from a proper place. Do not just go online and do some kind of silly course and then have that tag of life coaching. If you truly and genuinely want to become a good coach and you want to help people, then actually go for some authentic places where you can have live training, where you can actually understand the nitty gritties of the coaching, all the competencies of ICF which is there, that you should do. And of course, then I mean, what can I say? I mean, the person also asked me the difference between counseling and coaching and other things, and I, of course, I went on and on and on appreciating how life coaching is so good, and what are the things. But then, I mean, I gave a balance. I told about counseling also, and she herself said that it seems that life coaching is a better option. Then I said, I mean, of course it is. And I very much strongly believe that InnerMost Shift Coaching is an amazing, you know, I think, way of coaching, because as I said, and I'll keep saying it again and again, because it completely changes you from within. It's not something which is superficial. So I often tell, I mean, people that, if you want to go, this is, when I'm explaining also a client that what is my forte and the kind of coach I am, I feel so proud when I explain about, that I am an innermost shift coach and this is how it works and this is what I'm going to bring a change. And that can be heard in my voice, because I truly believe in it, that it really makes changes a person inside out if followed correctly and the client is committed. So this is what I would tell a person also, that of course go anywhere, but go for an authentic place and be very serious, because this is not a joke. You are here, people are instilling their trust in you, they come to you with a lot of hopes that you'll help them change their lives or handhold them from a situation we're stuck in. So I don't think it's a joke anywhere. So do not just take the tag and keep moving forward. Work hard for it, and then become a coach and be proud of it, and change lives of people who come to you.
Yes, yes, that's very, very important to take this career very seriously. If you
Yes,
want to call yourself a coach, or for that matter, even a trainer or a counselor, whatever you want to call yourself, because people actually come to you when they are in need for something and they actually wanted to change their life. Otherwise, they will not be really coming to you. So it's
true.
very, very important to take this seriously. Love the advice that you give to people. So on that note, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Uzma, for being over here with us, and
Thank
have
you
a
so
wonderful
much,
day.
Nandita. You too. And I just want to say,
Thank you.
Nandaji, I love you for so many comments and just being there and boosting my morale. And thank you to Siri ma'am and Sak sir also for, doing this series, because it's not only for AlphaStar, but it's for us also, It's so amazing for us to express about us and about the learning that we have had from all three of you. And we'll always be grateful for this.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Okay. Bye.